I always try to like pray and ask God to show me the way, show me what direction do you want me to go in. And like what you were saying for as my business, it was some days I was like, man, you know what? Look, I got too much going on. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can continue to do basketball, continue to do my business. Maybe what people say, like, you got too much, maybe you need to wait, right? And then I would just pray. I was like, God, just like any way you can show me a sign that I'm doing the right thing, I missed my flight, and I found another flight. I booked another last minute flight, bro, and I'm sitting down, and this lady, her name is Charlie, and she had a Dior bag, a nice Dior bag. I'm like, man, that Dior bag look nice.
Yeah.
And I hear the LinkedIn, like, how Facebook and every other app has its own like sound message. It's like, I was just like, man, let me just ask, are you on LinkedIn or something like that? She's like, actually, yeah, I have over 40-something thousand followers. And
what the hell?
I'm like, what? And she's like, I'm in logistics. I'm like, wow. So I'm like, oh wow, me too. So she's giving me a lot of pointers on how to get more people engaged on your content, how to connect with certain people, how to always, like, she started her own business. She's the owner of her own business. And I'm just like, man, if those not signs that you have to continue to keep going and that nothing will happen overnight, but if you continue to keep going and keep going and keep going, it will turn around, because one customer can turn my life around like this.
What up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Adversity Kings podcast. We got a second time, I believe, one of our very few second-time guests on the podcast. It's Semaj, right?
Yep, Semaj.
Yes, sir.
Semaj, yeah.
Semaj, let's go, bro. So Semaj's in the business just like us, in a different business, Illinois. I've had a blessing being here of learning the business culture. And I think a lot of the business culture in Illinois, you'll meet a lot of people, and the wealthiest people that have the nicest cars, they're in some business, the life insurance, the trucking business, just finding ways. I mean, you know what they say, bro, if you can't make it in Chicago, you can't make it anywhere, you know what I mean? So for what you're doing right now and being so young, bro, definitely inspired, me and to kind of push myself, and hopefully it inspires everybody else on the podcast watching in and listening in, bro. But if you kind of want to introduce yourself, guys, if you haven't seen it, go back and watch his other one too. He was on with us already. So go back and watch that one, and then, stay tuned for this one. But if you want to kind of introduce yourself, bro, and thanks for being on.
No problem, bro. So my name's Semaj Henderson. I'm the owner of Hendo's Logistics. Last time I was on, we mostly focused on like how my basketball career and everything started up, and my life journey going up to that. But recently, I ended up starting up my own logistics company. It's a 3PL, and I'm really the middleman. So I'm a freight broker. So what a freight broker is like, so you have a customer, you have a carrier, and then I'm the middleman, the freight broker. So everything that needs to get moved, you have to have a truck, you have to have a way to get it transported. So I would be the middleman in the whole process of getting it moved. So just like I was saying, I don't know if I said it on the last podcast or not, I had a load going from California, then going to Ohio, and it was bottle tops. So I got the bottle tops moved. I called up a truck. Hey, can you get this load moved for me? And I called a different certain amount of trucks. Tried to give my customers the best rate as possible, and then added my percentage on to it. And then I use a factoring company as well. So I use other people's money. So that's a way that I'm in college. I can't fund $6,200 and afford for someone not to pay me. I can't take that type of hit. So the factoring company, they advances you 90% of the load, and then so that you can pay your trucking company, pay a little bills that you have just in case if they don't pay within like 30 days, so that you can still pay your bills, and then they'll wait for the money, but they take a percentage out of it. So it's really like I just use other people's money to fund my business.
That's insane, man. That you know that, and obviously you've been doing it long enough and well enough that you know what you're talking about. You know how it works. You know what I mean? The fact that you can describe it to me and I can understand it in front of me means that you know what you're talking about.
Right.
Keeping it very simple. But how did you get into that, bro? Like, how did you even get into that? Thought about that? You know?
Man, so it was mostly like, so it was crazy because I really didn't want to do trucking. Like, I was not interested in it at all. But like being a freshman last year playing basketball, we had a lot of older guys. So all the freshmen weren't playing as much. So I was more sitting back like, man, if I'm ever sitting on the bench and I'm not playing as much as I want to do, if the ball stopped bouncing today, what am I going to do? Like, what am I going to do with myself? So I was just like, I got to figure something out. But I knew always I was going to be rich. Like, I knew that.
Yes.
And I'm not rich 100%. Now, but I already know I'm going to. So I was like, I'm going to figure something out. And my dad's friend, he owns his own trucking company. And he's a millionaire. So he owns, I think it's a Demand and Supply. And he owns his own trucking company. And he has a fleet of 20 trucks. He was like, man, come down. Let me tell you what a freight broker is. I'm like, I'm in school. I can't do that. I got too much stuff going on. He was like, just come and check it out. You could do it from anywhere. I'm like, okay. So I went there. I was going there to not want to do it. And I fell in love with it, man. And just seeing him being able to come and go as he pleased, not having to answer to no one. And just, be a leader, not having to take orders from somebody.
Huge, bro.
That really like struck me in a different type of way, actually seeing it instead of just seeing it on TV.
Yep. Social media.
Up and close is a different thing.
Yeah. Wow.
It was a different thing. So that's how I really got introduced to it. He was just continuously coaching me on it every day. So he had the luxury of, like, since he has other people handling other things, we'd be in his office. Like, he'd stop what he's doing and just go over it. We'd sit at the table every day and just go over it. And he was explaining it to me every single day. So this is what this means. This is what this means. This is what this means. And being the owner, this is how you do this. This is how you do this. This is how you deal with this people. This is how you do these things. And then it was like I'm like a sponge soaking so much knowledge up because and I wanted to learn. Like, I'm still wanting to learn. I'm always willing to learn from whoever I come across. Because he told me always to, because he's one of my mentors, so he always told me to learn from everybody you come across. And, it's either you're going to learn what to do or you're going to want to learn what not to do. So it's a two-way street. So I was like, okay, cool.
Sounds like a great dude. Yeah. He has an amazing mindset. That's what, sure. The things that you're saying in between that, man, I'm hearing a lot from these guys, and it's no coincidence that success leaves clues. So. Yeah. You said that's your uncle, right?
No, that's my dad's friend.
Your dad's friend. Okay, got you.
Yeah, so.
Well, that's, the way that, just that network that you have, bro, tapping into any network that you can, people would be surprised what their network really is. Like, a lot of times, like, you're just out here trying to get it, bro. Like, yeah. And I thought the same way ever since I was a kid, bro. I was 16 years old with a permit trying to start a detailing business. You know what I mean? All right. So, I started hustling DirecTV and Sam's Club, selling to people coming through Sam's Club, But so when you know that your mind is set on something, that's what helps your mind set, right?
Right.
So that's what we do, and that's usually how success stories happen like that, where you usually are motivated by something initially growing up that's going to cause you to want to be a millionaire, want to be successful, and then from there you're just like adapt that mindset. Okay, I need to do whatever it takes to be successful, right. And then a lot of times when it comes down to it, you start to realize, well, there's a lot more shit that goes into this that I had no idea it was, but you're coachable, bro. That's the difference. And that's why you're going to get there way faster because a lot of people don't listen. You pass up 99% of people just by listening and implementing the information. Most people don't listen. Yeah. 100%.
That's for sure because, man, but you said like you for sure knew you were 16, you wanted to do business and everything. Man, I didn't want to do nothing with business. I didn't want, like, I always knew, like, I watched LeBron and stuff like that, but I never knew that I wanted to do anything with business. It was basketball or nothing.
100%.
My mom used to always tell me, like, you got to do this, you have to do this. And it was just like, it's like, just specifically in the Black community, like I feel like we always want to be just like athletes, or entertainers in either type of way. It's either a basketball player, football player, rapper, or something
Comedians.
or comedians or
Yeah.
something like that. And we that's the only thing that we glorify sometimes, and that's the only thing that we see, but the percentages of that is crazy, and one of my other mentors as well, he's a doctor. He owns 4 practices. He's a millionaire as well, and he was just telling me, man, you can be the 450th best basketball player in the world, and you sitting at home or you working at Walmart, or you're not making what the top 300 are making, and you just 100 and some spots out. And it's just like, wow, like the percentages are so small.
Yeah.
And like I just was like, you know what? So I started reading, and I used to hate reading, but
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the stuff that I read about now is the stuff that I'm interested in, which is money, mental wealth as well, feeding my brain with knowledge, and wanting to always advance and figure out, like you said, listen. You know what I'm saying? You older than me, so it's stuff that you probably.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
Oh, same age. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. But no, that's crazy, bro. 22 to be doing that shit, and you're exactly correct, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I really haven't. I really have been doing the business thing for not too long, but I've made some great connections, man. Because a lot of people want to work with athletes, so I use that to my advantage, and I try to be a student in every room that I come in, so that I can potentially continue to advance.
Massive, bro. People underestimate that, dude. Like the person that just observes and that it just sits there. He might not be the loudest person in the room, but he's always the one that's like, I'm learning.
Yeah.
How can I get an edge on somebody? How can I level up on somebody? Okay, what are you doing that's working? What are you doing that's not working? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this. You know what I mean? So, and speed defies gravity, bro. When you're moving that quick like that, bro, and you're trying to, and if, like they say, bro, if you want to get something done, give it to the busiest person. You know what I mean? If you got a lot on your plate, add some more.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and that's how you should dream, bro. Your dream should never be small enough that you feel like you can do it all at once. It should be a hectic war zone of a life every single day that you're living to accomplish your dreams, bro. So for you juggling basketball and trying to be the best at that, to juggling business, trying to get your business to the best, and it's just insane. People don't really understand what it really takes if they can watch your daily schedule right now.
Yeah, for sure. My daily schedule is real crazy. So sometimes, I have to get like sleep. I have to get sleep. I've tried the not sleeping 4 hours, bro. I've tried it. It doesn't work, because then I still have to make calls. I got to get on the phone. I'm sleepy. I don't have the energy. So what I try to do is go to bed early, wake up early, make as many connections with as many people as I can, and the relationships and the things that I can embark on, I try to keep hold of the handshake that I come across. So every day I just try to put one foot in front of the other as far as my business, and also have a management team as well, which helps me a lot. So sometimes when I'm not available, my management team is they help me as well with calling the trucks if I'm at practice. So there's never a time that it's like, hey, he's not answering the phone. We got to load out. There's a problem. It's always someone that's available on my team that's equipped enough to handle the problem. So that's what we really try to do.
Now, how was it when you first got started, man? I can't imagine that you knew everything to do when you first got started, right?
Man, it was like literally like it's just like if you just went in somewhere that you didn't know where you were at, and you just looked around like you don't know. I didn't know what I didn't know.
Yep.
And that's the worst part. I mean, you don't know what you don't know because you don't know, So I didn't know anything. Like, it's different when you're getting taught, and then once you're on your own and you just you done paid for everything, you done everything you had to do. Like, man, I was, it was times in the summer, because I had only a certain amount of time before I went to school to save up the money. I was Ubering till 6 a.m. because that's what I had to do to have because Ubering, I had to do that to save my money, and it was a flexible schedule because I still had to be in the gym. I couldn't just work, so I was doing that. And man, I remember like it was yesterday. I went to this this last ride. It was like 6, 7 in the morning. I've probably been Ubering for like 12 hours. And this one kid got in the car like, man, you up early. I want to tell him so bad. I'm like, bro, I haven't went to sleep.
Yeah.
I haven't went to sleep. Like, you talking about I'm up early, bro. No, I haven't slept.
Yeah.
It was just like, wow, I had to do every single thing, all those little things just to lead up to being allowed to even have enough money to start up my own company, and just like not knowing I had to continue to call people.
Yeah.
Ask people, like finding people on interviews, not being afraid to be like, hey, I don't know what I should be doing here. What should I do? If you can give me some advice, what can I do? And that sometimes that's like, you can't have as much pride enough to be like, I can ask someone, it's okay. And
wisdom is worth its weight in gold, bro, 100%.
So I asked, and man, I made so many great friends that was like, man, you asked, like, you called me, you don't even know me. Like I literally, like, if I see you do an interview and I can find your Instagram and I can find a way to contact you, you best believe if you have the information, I'm going to try to contact you. I'm going to try to contact you.
Hell yeah, dude.
If you say no, okay, it's fine. I'm not going to hurt my feelings.
Most people don't think like that, but that's so crazy that you think like that at 22 right now, bro.
Yeah. So that's what I really did. I learned a lot from literally watching people, calling, hey, maybe sometimes irritating people, or maybe you got to irritate them. But sometimes it's just like you got to show people that you really want it, because sometimes people would just be like, oh, he's just calling just to call, or, no, I actually want to learn. I actually want to be better. My goal every day is to just become smarter than I was yesterday. So that was my biggest goal, and I just continued to chip away every single day, and found a regimen. Started doing this every single day, connecting with this amount of people every single day, staying in the library to about 1 o'clock in the morning, having the security guards open up the library and stuff like that. And then, figuring out different ways to build connections with the security guys. Like, hey, man, can I get in?
Yeah.
Can I get in?
Wow.
Talking to the library. Can I get in? Librarian, can I get in? Yeah, man, fine. Forget it. You always in here. So 12 in the morning, 1 in the morning, my mom called, you okay? Yeah, I'm still in the library, though. So every day, that's what I was doing.
Well, bro, if you don't mind me asking, and you don't got to give me exact numbers, but what would you roughly say your business will make this year?
It's not, because sometimes the months are inconsistent.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's not really a projection of where I think we can do this year, but I think we can do over in revenue for sure, 6 figures this year in revenue.
Hell yeah, bro. Come on.
For sure.
And just so y'all know, I want y'all to understand this and go back for a second and look what he just said. So everybody wants to make 6 figures out here, right? They want to start their own business. They want to make 6 figures, 7 figures, starting your own business. Just so y'all see this, bro, and I want y'all to slow it down and watch what he just said. Are you going to be willing to do what he does, what he did, what he's doing right now, 1, 2 in the morning in the library, not sleeping, Ubering just to make connections, just to be able to pay, the bills that he had to pay for his business to get started up? This is over the last how many years?
I literally just started. I started my company. My company started in August.
August. And when did you start doing that work? Like, does that monotonous, like, just hard work that no one wants to do?
August 10th.
August 10th. Okay. Mm-hmm. So if y'all can see what has he done in a matter of a couple months, like if he can open up his business and almost scale his business completely to 6 figures in a couple of months, understand that it doesn't matter what business you're in. This is the work required to do so. Mm-hmm. So it requires Ubers all night, not sleeping. I've been many times, bro, where I haven't slept, up doing emails and stuff like that until 2, 3 a.m. and I got to get back up at 5, role playing this script. So to get to where you want to go in life, you understand that it doesn't matter what business you're in. You're not going to find a lucky NFT or something that's going to take you to the top. Like, right. This is the work that it takes that you have to put in, bro. So for you to be young as hell, and this, I would have never done this shit if it wasn't for my mentors. I would have never made it. I would have never developed the mindset, but now I'm obsessed with the mindset. You know what I mean? So because of them, so you've obviously had amazing mentors in your life. And for that, going through that, no one wants to do that. He didn't come out every day motivated that he wanted to do it, but he had a dream and he wanted to accomplish that dream, and he had a vision that he saw and he wanted to make sure he got it, bro. So that's huge right there. The work that you put in. Listen to what he just said. And ask yourself if you would be willing to do that to start your own business while full-time D1 basketball player at the same time. That's huge, bro.
Right. Appreciate it, bro. And I got a question for you. What do you do? Because I want to tell you what I do. What do you do once, like the days you wake up when you feel like, man, I don't feel like doing it today?
Yeah.
Like today, because we're human. Some days we wake up and we don't have the motivation to get up and, get the stuff done that we need to, that we know we need to get done. What do you do?
So my biggest thing, bro, and that's 100%, dude. And I'd say that's most days, arguably. Arguably, there's going to be more days where you feel like shit or you don't feel like doing it or some shit happens. Then there is that days that you do feel like doing it, bro. And honestly, for me, it was always the gym. Like, I no matter what, like, state of mind that I'm in and I feel like shit, I know number one is my mom, too.
Yeah.
And Tristan actually kind of put us on this shit, and I'm grateful for it. But basically, it was like, if you wake up and you don't feel like doing it, you don't feel like working, okay, you have to do yourself a favor. If you truly want to take that day off, you got to call your mom and you got to tell her, listen, Mom, I'm sorry. Like, it's going to take us an extra 5 years because I decided to take a day off. Like, that's how obsessed that I look at it. And then number two, when I go to the gym, bro, every time I'm in the gym and I hit a workout, I kill myself in the gym. You know what I mean? Just suffering, pain. And I chase it, bro. And I chase that feeling. I know it sucks in the moment, but I'm used to it, bro, like at this point in time. But I know it sucks. And I want to quit and give up and stop working out more than anything. And I want to be satisfied and complacent with the workout. But I understand that after this workout, if I just keep going and I push past this hell, sometimes I'm sick, can't breathe, trying to catch my breath. Like everybody got sick, in the winter, whenever it turned winter, bro. And I could not catch my breath. I would do one little workout, couldn't catch my breath, but I kept going and I kept going. And then you feel amazing after the workout, bro. Like I attribute a lot of my mindset to the gym specifically because it definitely helped me a lot. And then the mentors around me, bro. Whenever you come into this office or you get around, and it's your network, bro. Like a lot of people, to be honest, if you look at your friends, look at the circle that you're around, these people probably don't add no value to your life.
That's so true. That's so true.
You know what I mean? That's the thing, bro. You come around somebody like you or somebody like, in the office, bro, and they're adding value. It's like a family culture where you're just all, like you said, bro, 1% better each day.
1% better, yeah.
Trying to get 1% better each day, and you're around the same like-minded people just trying to lift each other up, bro. Then no day is going to seem bad because you're with your family, bro. You know what I mean? The same people.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you a question on that, bro, because you had said, and I think people overlook this a lot, especially in business and especially in sports, it's the same case scenario. Like you said, you used to call your mentors, find connections, call your mentors, call somebody for advice, bro. If you study, you ever heard of, what's his name, dude? I'm forgetting his name. How am I drawing a blank on his name? It's the guy that coached Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant.
You talking about Phil Jackson?
Tim Grover. He helped them. He wrote the book Relentless. And yeah, so Tim Grover, he helped coach like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, right?
Yeah, he was like their trainers, I think. Yeah,
exactly.
Trainer, yeah.
So, but he said Kobe used to call Michael Jordan every night for hours and ask him every single detailed possible question that there was, and he could hear him like writing it down. And that's like what Kobe would do every single night. Michael Jordan said he answered every single time. You know what I mean? So for you to do that, bro, I think people overlook that, like how important it is to have a mentor in their life guiding them to that vision. Then the last question, and you can touch on this too, is like a lot of people, they talk about, like everybody thinks they need to have the shit prepared for like to start a business or start a company or start something. They think that this shit's going to be like, it doesn't go like this, bro. It's not a stock chart that goes up. It goes up, down, left, right, diagonal, down. Like you're going to be on top of the world 1 month and then you're going to be on rock bottom the second month. And you might feel like you're failing yourself, or you might feel like you're failing your people, or whatever the case may be. But all you have to understand and do is, like he was just saying, is just 1% better each day, bro. Like 1% better each day. If you can focus on 1% better each day, it's going to compound like a snowball rolling down a hill, bro. People overlook that. They try to get it all now, and they want to do year 10 right now, and they want instant gratification. But if you can take your time, bro, I mean, and just focus each day to day and master each day, you end up, long term.
Yeah, that's 100% fact, man. Because for me, it's just like, I don't want to lose, I don't want to lose. Like, I'm not afraid of failing, but I'm going to try my best not to fail, know, because I get a lot of people that DM me on LinkedIn and message me like, man, why Why did you how did you end up even doing it? What made you want to do it? What made you want to do it? And stuff like that is mostly because I'm not afraid. You know what I mean? I'm not afraid to fall on my face. I'm not afraid to be like, hey, I was wrong. I'll try over. I'll try again. And I feel like a lot of people are too afraid to do certain things like that and put their name out there to just because if you fail, you feel like because now on social media, it's like everybody like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Everybody want to post this. Everybody want to act like they're the best. And every single thing, I'll be the first one to tell you I'm not the best, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try my hardest to be the best, you know? So if I'm not the best, you're not going to say I ain't giving my all. You're not going to say I didn't put in as much work or even more work than you did, because you're not going to say you worked harder than me. You're not going to say that you sacrificed more than me. And if you did say that, that's probably not true. You know, so that is the biggest thing for me, is just like sacrifice and continuing to become more and more and more disciplined. I feel like I'm a disciplined person, but can I be more disciplined? Yeah, I could be way more disciplined. I'm not the person, like, I don't want people to watch the interview and be like, man, he's doing so much stuff different than me. He's doing this much different than me. I'm just trying. That's the biggest thing. If you try, it's different. Like, you know, you don't never know what you can do unless you try, you know, because I get on the phone with some customers, bro, and they hang up on me like, man, don't call me no more. Do not call my phone. Like, this is my personal number. Do not call me. You're a small company. Don't call. Hang up. You know, I'll be like, okay, cool. So then what I would do is my girlfriend got me like a booklet where I write down my daily notes sometimes. And then I have a page where I put down every negative thing somebody put down, like they said over the phone. And I'll write it down. And then whenever I'm like, to get motivated, sometimes I would look at that. And I would just be like, okay, this one. Because like you can, like, so you gotta think about it like this. 5 quality customers can make you a millionaire, right? Yeah. Because if you just say, hey, if you have 300 full truckloads, right? And I'm making upwards, just say $300 off of those, you got to do the math. That's off just you. That's off one customer plus the next 4 that you have.
Holy fuck.
You know what I mean? So you just got to think the numbers, how much revenue you bringing in. Like that's yours. That's your money. And it's like what I was saying, I use a factoring company, so I'm not limited to be like, I am limited on the companies that I can work with. But if you don't pass that credit check 9 times out of 10, I don't want to work with you anyway.
Anyways, yep.
Because you don't pay. You have a bad history of paying. Like, I just wanted to, like, I almost did something. I was just like, man, I needed to do it. I want to do it so bad. But my factoring company said they filed bankruptcy. They let you know why. The company that you just sent, they filed bankruptcy in 2019. I don't think it's a great idea. We're not fronting you the money. I'm like, man, should I just do it and just try to pay the company myself? Like, no, that's not smart. You know, just because you want the quick fix, nah. So
you traded what you wanted right now for what you wanted long term, bro. That's discipline right there, bro.
In the end. Would it hurt me in the end? It was like, yeah, that would hurt me. But losing that amount of money,
right there, man.
You know, that would hurt. You know, I still have bills. I still have connections. I still have things that I try to do every single day. Nothing is set in stone. I feel like I still can do over $1 million in revenue this year. But I'm just striving every single day to, you know, I know we'll do over 6 figures, but that's in revenue. That's not saying how much I take home, plus bills, plus promoting, plus, you know, every other thing I have to pay for. So because I'm always reinvesting into the company.
Bro, that is massive. That's massive. If you really study the billionaires of the world, they put every single thing back into their company, bro. And the thing is, bro, so let me ask you this. So obviously when you started off, you had to do like side hustles. Like you had to Uber just to get money because you had to pay the bills. You feel what I'm saying? Like there's a difference between doing a side hustle where you got to pay the bills than doing a side hustle, trying to get 7 different ways of income.
Yeah.
You doing 7 side hustles, you still gonna be broke as fuck. I mean, that's just what it is, right? So for you to do that, bro, and that's what, if you really study the billionaires, like Jeff Bezos didn't have a side hustle, Elon Musk didn't have a side hustle, like, you know, Mark Zuckerberg didn't have a side. It's all one thing. And what they did was they took all their money and they invested it back into their business, bro. So in most businesses, if you really look at this is the average of businesses. First of all, what is it? 80% of businesses fail in their first 4 years, like all 70 or 80% of them. And then on top of that, most businesses, I think it's like 75%, 80% of business don't see profit for the first 6 years. Don't see a dime of profit for at least the first 6 years.
That's knowledge to me.
And so that's what people don't really understand. Like if you like First Form, huge fitness company, Andy Frisella, you know, he's a multi-millionaire, and bro didn't make money. Like for 10 years, he had to work an overnight job because he didn't make money for 10 years. Now, boom, multi-millionaire in his 10th year. So people want it now, bro. But for you, that's what I want to ask you is like, I know you kind of focus on one more day, right? That's how I am. Like, you know, if I'm an alcoholic, like Ed Milet, you know Ed Milet, right? So he's worth, you know, $500 million through life insurance, right? But that's what he said. Like his dad quit drinking. He said, you know, one more. He wrote the book Power of One More. Ed Milet's an amazing guy. But the biggest thing he said was, you know, each day getting better. So for you, I want to ask, like, kind of what is your vision, not only for juggling, trying to be in the NBA, which obviously, you know, 100% you believe you deserve to be there. D1 already, bro. So congratulations. The amount of work it took just to get to D1 is huge. Sounds like you got a very supportive girlfriend too. So shout out to her. You know what I mean? And then obviously shout out your dad's friend for that network. But the second thing is, where do you see your business, you know, over the next 5-10 years, along with your, you know, basketball career, to the vision? Like if you were to selectively put out how you would want it to work out, what would that look like for you?
I really don't know because I believe I always I got really close to God recently. So since I've always believed in God, but I've got way closer to God throughout this whole journey. So I always try to like pray and ask God to show me the way, you know, show me what direction do you want me to go in. And like what you were saying, for as my business, it was some days I was like, man, you know what? Look, I got too much going on. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can continue to do basketball, continue to do my business. Maybe what people say, like, you got too much, maybe you need to wait, right? And then I would just pray. Like, I was just like, you know what? Like the first time, it happened twice. It was twice, and I was like, I won't question it no more, right? So first time, I was praying. This was like when I was just like, I don't know. This is when I was almost had enough money to save up for my company, but like the time was getting close for me to leave and stuff like that. And I had to make sure I was in shape. I was like, God, just like any way you can show me a sign that I'm doing the right thing, you know? So I go. This is my last Uber ride before I go to the gym. The last person I pick up is like one of the head people at their logistics company. I'm like, wow. What do you do? She's like, oh, I'm one of the head logistics people at such and such company. I'm like, wow, right? I was like, okay, that was it. As soon as she got out the car, I made a connection with her. I'm like, okay, cool. Got a lot of knowledge. I'm like, bam, that's crazy. Then when I was feeling like it, but I didn't really know, this was the last time around my birthday. I still was like, it was so much. Like, you know, sometimes it's so much, like what you were saying. And I missed my flight. I've never missed a flight. I missed my flight, and I found another flight. I booked another last minute flight, bro. And I'm sitting down, and this lady. Her name is Charlie, and she had a Dior bag, a nice Dior bag. I'm like, man, that Dior bag look nice.
Yeah.
And I hear the LinkedIn, like, you know how Facebook and every other app has its own like sound message. I was just like, man, let me just ask. Are you on LinkedIn or something like that? She's like, actually, yeah, I have over 40-something thousand followers. And
what the hell?
I'm like, I'm like, what? And she's like, I'm in logistics. I'm like, wow. So I'm like, oh wow, me too. So she's giving me a lot of pointers on how to get more people engaged on your content, how to connect with certain people, how to always, like, she started her own business. She's the owner of her own business. And I'm just like, man, if those not signs that you have to continue to keep going and that nothing will happen overnight, but if you continue to keep going and keep going and keep going, it will turn around, because one customer can turn my life around like this, like that fast.
That's huge, man. That's huge. You said one customer. That's what we say, bro. One person can change your life in this business too. You know, that one person that's going to blow the deal up for you. That one person that one client that knows 100 other clients, that the one relationship that, you know, one person, one thing can change your life. And it's just working that hard, bro. I remember in this business, I was in this business for a year and I was kind of paycheck to paycheck for the whole first year, bro. Like, in a sense, like, I was negative a lot of times in my bank when I started for the first year, you know. And 1 week, bro, 1 week I went from having $300 in my bank account to over $47,000 in 1 week. And then it just went up from there, blew up. You know what I mean? Still hard times, you know, we came out rebuilt and stuff, but one thing, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year could just change your entire life, bro. So for you to do that, but the thing there that I want y'all to understand, like you said, bro, God is huge, bro. 100%. I pray every day. God has put the biggest, I was praying for 2 years, bro. I was praying I'm like, God, please give me an opportunity, because when I found this opportunity 3 years ago, there was nothing around me, bro, where I grew up. I grew up like in the hood out of Pittsburgh, you know, heroin epidemic neighborhood, like low income housing, with my mom, my brother, my sister, right? My stepdad thing, you know, and my dad as well. But growing up, bro, we never saw, like, I thought $1,000 was a lot of money, and we never had opportunities, bro. Most of us, most kids and most people our age, the problem is they don't have the opportunity, bro. But God's going to put the opportunity in your life, but it's not going to come the way you want it to come to you, bro. Like me, I wanted to do that online drop shipping, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Courses, all that. And I feel like had he put it that way, bro, I would have never found a gym. I would have never developed mentally what my mindset I have. Yeah. But I was praying for a year, bro. Like, literally praying for an opportunity. God, please let me get something near me, something near me, something near me. Not in California and Florida. I don't have no money, bro. Right. I'm not paying $5,000 to download somebody's course. Like, please give me something. And that's when I seen Tristan's ad popped up that he made $100,000 real business opportunity. I didn't know what it was. I never saw myself selling life insurance. Right. You know what I mean? But I'm in love with the whole game, bro. So for you to do that and say that, bro, it's God will put it in your life. Most people in your position would have been scared to ask. They wouldn't have said, what's up? They said, nah, maybe she's music producer or something. Like, they would have made up some excuses, bro. And if you can't find a way, you're going to find an excuse, bro. So your desire, you know, if you can talk a little bit on this too, and then I got a couple more things for you, then we can wrap it up after that. But, like, if you want to talk about on this, bro, like, what brought you to that desire to win, the desire to be obsessed with winning? Because I 100% think, like, that's the same here, bro. I hate losing more than I love winning, but I'm so obsessed to win. I just hate losing. You know, what brings that desire out of you, and where did that kind of stem from and start from?
I think it mostly stemmed from always being underestimated most of the time. Like, I always had to prove myself. No matter what situation I'm in. And even after I prove myself, I got to prove myself again. Yeah. So it's like, you know, I had to, that is like embedded in me. Like, it's like installed in me to always just overdo the competition all the time. And like, I don't think the way sometimes people view me is like, I've been trying to view myself that way, to don't dumb myself down, but also still be humble at the same time. So, I don't view myself as I don't view myself as I'm better than you. I view myself as we're on equal. It doesn't matter if you have more money than me. It doesn't matter if I have more money than you. We're still equal. So I'm not too big of a person to ask you, hey, how did you do this? How did you do this? I don't look at it that way. I just look at it like, hey, I want to know. If you tell me, that's great. If you don't, I'll find somebody else who will. You know, so.
But you still believe in yourself a lot.
I still believe in myself. Just because I asked you a question does not mean it makes me less of a man, or it makes me like oh, I'm trying to piggyback off. I just want to know. That is how information is passed on, because you have to. A closed mouth doesn't get fed. Like I talked to somebody else in the logistics industry. I talked to him, and he told me, he said, hey, what you do, don't ever stop doing. And he's really big in the logistics industry. He said, do not ever stop asking questions. What you just did, don't ever stop. Continue to do that, because when you're also young, and then people don't know that you want the information, let alone are willing to give it to you if you don't ask.
Yeah.
So if you ask and you're genuine about it and you really want to learn, they will help you. There's more. I've came across way more people who want to help me than genuinely don't.
Yeah. And that's most people do that, bro. Most people want to help you and share the information with you. It's just most people don't want to ask. They'd rather sit. And that's the thing, bro. Your mind is consumed by something 100% of the time. So your mind can either be sitting here consumed by, oh, my business sucks. Oh, I'm not doing $1 million. Oh, I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do this. I might as well quit. I should not do it. Or your mind could be consumed by, okay, who's the next person that's going to give me my next lead? Who's the next person that this girl got a Dior bag. LinkedIn just went off. I'm going to ask her this. Oh my gosh, this is fire. Who John Maxwell is?
John Maxwell, no.
So John Maxwell is like a big leadership guy. I'd recommend reading his books through leadership. He has a bunch of leadership books, but he's the best. He would go to churches. He used to be a pastor. Would go to churches and build different churches up to millions of people and across the country. So he's huge on leadership and we all study him as far as leadership goes. So I paid $15,000 to go meet him. Thank you to Simon and Tristan. So shout out y'all for putting me on, and thank you to John Maxwell. Hopefully he'll see this one day of us going down there, bro. But one thing that he said, bro, I think this is worth millions of dollars. Like, this made me my $15,000 back that I spent to go see him, right?
You spent $15,000 to see him?
To go see him. We all did. Yep, me, Simon, and Tristan each spent $15,000 each to go see him. But this made me my $15,000 back. This one sentence, because this shit smacked me in the face. And you know what it said? He said, who do you know that I should know? That's what John Maxwell said. He said, every time you meet somebody, ask them, who do you know that I should know, right? Building that connections, bro. And I think that's the biggest thing. That's why I got a lot of respect for, shout out Chosen in our business and Taylor and these network marketers, bro, because they establish so much connections. You end up falling into the lap of someone successful that's willing to teach you.
Yeah.
So that's huge there, bro. And then I wanted to ask you another question. A lot of times, let's say you can dumb it down to 3 steps. What would you perceive and what would you say are the 3 attributes that make someone successful? What are the 3 attributes that you say would make somebody successful?
If I had to make them to 3, I would say, if I had to just put 3, I would just say the willingness to learn. So just be willing to learn from people who want the best for you. Learn from them. Long as that's what you want to do. Willingness to learn. I always recommend reading. Reading for sure. Because reading, I think of reading is just like you go to the gym and work out, just like I go to the gym and work out. Reading is a workout.
100% mental workout.
Reading is the push-ups and the bench pressing and everything. Working your mind to being able to articulate yourself in many different ways that you want to, because sometimes when you come across one thing I hate is when I go in a room with people and they are using such big words and I don't understand. Have you ever had a conversation with someone bro. And you don't understand what they're saying? And I was like it irks my nerves. It's like they're speaking in another language.
Yeah.
So I'm I need to figure that out. So they got that by reading. And when I'm reading and I go over a word I don't understand, I would stop, Google the word, understand it, and continue to be okay, now I know this. Now this is in my memory bank. Now I can use this. And, I can understand when people try to, use bigger words or have a conversation. I can understand what they're talking about. And then just always, and I'll just say, planning your day out. Planning your day out or just continuing to push every day and have a God. God for sure is one. God has to be in there. Have 100%. Faith. Have faith in yourself. Having faith in yourself and having faith in God. That is the top 3. learning, always be willing to learn, read, having faith in God, and I feel like you'll accomplish all your goals that you
100% agree, bro. 100% agree.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to ask you at least like 2 or 3 more things though. Number one, and this will lead into the next question, but number one, what would you say the biggest adversity you've ever faced in your life? Maybe it was the hardest time in business, maybe it was just personal life, like at one point in time, and if you could describe a little bit of what it was your biggest adversity ever?
I'll probably say my biggest, because like 2 is like the same. So my first one was when like when my cousin passed away. So he ended up getting killed in Chicago. So yeah, all my families are from Chicago, west side, south side, Chicago, all over. So that's not like, it was just hit home a little closer, and it really just like that was the first time I ever felt like really enraged, and really like I didn't feel, it was nothing positive, so everything, my mind wasn't on the right thing all the time. So that situation for sure. And then when my grandmother passed, so those 2 situations, it challenged me mentally to be like, I have to continue to push forward so that I can, because I'm not an angry person. I don't wake up mad every morning. I wake up happy every morning, like genuinely happy every morning. And during that time, I really didn't wake up like happy every day. Like I was some days you good, some days you're not. Some days you're in the mood, some days you aren't, But I had to overcome those things by continuing to pray and continuing to always know that like they're with me. So I got my cousin on my arm, and
I was gonna ask you about that, brother. Who did that? That's amazing.
Yeah, so I got this done in Chicago as well. So I got him on my arm, and then I got my grandmother on my arm. I got my granddad on my arm as well.
Come on.
And then Chicago as well too. So
respect, bro.
Yeah, so that is probably the biggest. These 2 are for sure the 2 biggest. And then also his brother got killed like I think like a couple months after he did as well. So that was like 2 of my close cousins.
So that's your aunt too, right? That would be their mom is your aunt?
Yeah.
I can't imagine what she was going through too,
she was going through a lot as well. So
that's insane.
It was a lot, it was a lot to deal with. It was a lot to take in, but I talked to my dad about it a lot. It was a long process of me just growing up. You had to grow up, and I had to really just hone in on like this is what happens. You know what I mean? So I had to really be strong. That was like one of the toughest moments. I really had to be like, I had to be strong.
What do you think you learned from it? What do you think the biggest takeaway that you learned from that moment about yourself was?
I had to learn how to forgive. When certain stuff like that, when it happens from human hands, you have to forgive. And that's probably the hardest thing, is forgiving others, because like I told you, I got closer to God. So just knowing that you can't want to be forgiven if you can't forgive someone for their sins as well.
100%.
I leave the judgment and judging to God. He has, I have a lot to do. He has a lot to do. It's not made for me to judge nobody else. All sins are equal. So I'm like, whatever I had to just open my heart up and be like, I have to forgive. Forgiving is the biggest thing, So I had to do a lot of that self-reflection for sure.
That's huge, man. I've been through some deaths, and stuff like that, man. But like half of my family died from heroin, overdoses. But they did that to themselves, you know what I mean? Plus, I didn't really know a lot of them. I was really only close with my direct lineage, my direct family. But for you to go through that, bro, I can imagine that pain. And that's crazy. Everybody got to go through it. There will be a bad day in your life. Either your mom, your dad, somebody close to you is going to die, or you will. And it's just, there's a beauty in it and stuff like that. And that's kind of why I like this business, life insurance, bros, because I get calls every day about people that, my son passed away, my wife passed away, but because of your company, I got $100,000, $200,000, you know what I mean? So for them to, be able to be helped in any possible way that I can during the hardest time in their life, that's what I love about what we do. And that's huge there, man. And then kind of to touch on it, and we can kind of wrap it up and kind of end on this and everything for you, bro. But what do you think for yourself? What, like, if you could leave behind 3 pieces of advice. So 3 pieces of advice. All your other content, all your other accolades, your businesses, everything else about you gets deleted. But you want everyone to remember these 3 things about your biggest pieces of advice to them. And just kind of feel free to throw in whatever you want. But those 3 things, that's all they would remember about you.
I would like to say probably I use my pain. I use my pain as motivation. And I turned it into something happy. Like what you just, like the last question you asked. Even though those situations are tragic and those made me grow up in a different type of way, I use those as motivation, and I just I'm going to do this for them. I'm going to make them proud doing this. So that makes me happy, knowing that's what make with them happy. Seeing me do everything that they would want me to do. So turn that negative into a positive. I never embark on negative situations. I don't. So that's to probably turn my negative into a positive. I would say I put my family in a way better position. I've put my family in a way better position than that was left to me. So generations that come after me won't have to go through the certain things that I have to go through.
That's huge.
So they'll be, not spoon fed, but they will have way more than what I had, which I had a decent amount. But they're well taken care of. And then I stood for a great cause, and I always had my own mind. I always take pride in having my own mind and not just going for anything. I stand for something, and I'm not afraid to die for what I believe in. I always I pride myself on not being a puppet or a yes man. If I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it.
100%.
You're not going to.
The power of the word no, bro.
Yeah, the power of the word no.
Understand it nowadays.
So, it's not going to be. If any decision that's made wrong by me, it's not going to be because someone else made me do it. It's going to be because I did it. Because I have control of my own mind. That's why I don't drink all the time. That's why I don't smoke. It's because when certain situations, because when you're intoxicated, sometimes you're not thinking in the right mind frame. But, I do have fun every once in a while, but never to a point where I can't make up my own conscious decision.
Correct.
So that is the biggest thing. I always have my own mind.
That's huge, man. And that leads into my next thing. I did want to say one more thing before we end, but that is huge right there, because I learned that the hard way. Because I grew up always trying to, all right, well, how can I help people, right? That was my main focus, helping people. So, all right, can you help me this way? Yeah, got you. Yeah, got you. Yeah, got you. Because that's where I was at. Help. I didn't know the difference. I didn't know how important it was. And the biggest lesson I had to learn was to say no when there's times that, hey, listen, sorry, bro. No. And you don't even got to explain it. No. Right. You don't even got to say sorry. Just no, bro. Nope. Not doing it. Same thing. Like, you want to go outside? Nope. You know what I mean? It's freezing outside. You're a kid. Your brother say, hey, you want to go outside? Nope. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's the same thing. The power of the word no is huge. And I think that was big for me, because a lot of times it comes from a good heart. Yeah. But you got to be able to stand your boundaries and be selfish a little bit so that you can then, you got to fill your cup to pour back into everyone else's cup, bro. Yeah. Now, for you, bro, what about self-talk? Because I think this is a big thing that especially our generation struggles with nowadays is their self-talk. Realistically, yes, you want to, I'm 100% humble, bro, 100%. There's people, obviously, I know I'm not the best yet. Right. But every day when I'm doing something, I'm sitting there saying, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. You know what I mean? And the whole point of that, bro, is because I struggled with self-belief when I was growing up. Right. So I didn't believe in myself much growing up. You know what I mean? And doing so allowed me to finally believe myself and get to a point I never thought I would get to, where I feel as if I'm almost the most competent person to walk the earth. But I don't sit here and think I'm better than you, bro.
Yeah.
I don't sit here and think I'm better than anyone else. I'm just saying you have to believe that you're number one, because if you don't believe you're going to win, then however will you be number one, right? Mm-hmm. So that's huge. But a lot of people, I think, struggle their self-talk. So what would you say the difference is between somebody maybe growing up, with anxiety or whatever the case may be, and then they jump to that, okay, I'm the greatest.
Yeah. So I would say, because, man, playing basketball, you come across so many different people. You actually come across certain people that are overconfident, that are, arrogant, that are, you come across all different type of people. But I would say that, like, I always watch what comes out of my mouth, but like the confidence thing, it really comes from what I was taught. Like my mom and my dad always told me, you're no better than a bum on the street, but no one is better than you as well. So God made everybody equal. So that's what that comes from. It's just like, you're not no better than me. I've never viewed anyone just because of their status that they're better than me or anything like that. But because that same person that you are making fun of, or that same person that you are talking to, that person can be ahead of you one day.
Yep.
Like, and that situation was me. That was me in a lot of situations. I didn't have people be like, hey, man, I'm doing this. And I'm always the younger one. I was the younger one. So I couldn't say anything. But then when I got older, and in that situation, when rubber met the road, and it's like, I'm not little no more. That's like, you stayed the same. Yeah. And I continued to elevate because you were that so sure of yourself. I continued to keep going and keep my head down.
You kept learning, bro.
I kept wanting to keep my head down because, okay, cool. I remember what you said, because it's so many people that used to have something to say, but now are the people that, hey, can I,
can I get a job, bro?
Can I, how did you, what's up, bro? What's up? Oh, you know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, what's up, bro? I ain't forget what you said.
Yeah.
But what's up, man? And that goes with females. That goes with a lot of stuff, and it'd be like, you just sit back and some people like, why you smiling? You'd be like, that's nothing. I was just thinking about something, but why I'm smiling, man. It's like, it's the shoes on the other foot now.
You remember what you said?
Yeah. So that's what it is for me, is just always don't view yourself as no less than the next person. You don't even have to say anything, because those same people that were better, they cursed themselves when they were speaking on other people's situation. And then when the roles is flipped, they're like, wow. And they understand that late. They understand it once it's too late.
Yeah, when it's too late. Yep.
Yeah, once it's too late. Because now you've ruined that relationship. There's nothing that person would have done. If you would have treated that person with that type of respect before he got to that status, he would have made sure he looked out for you, because when the roles was flipped, you always showed him the right side. You know what I'm saying? You always gave him the heads up, the, hey, keep going. Not the, you're not this, you're not that, you're not this, I got this, you got that. Like, okay. And then when the situation happened, when it actually presents itself, it's just like, yeah, it's not the same no more.
Straight up, bro. I mean, that's 100%. I've had people that back in school, high school, they talking shit, or they would try to flame me, because Pitcairn is like, it's like the low income housing, people try to flame like where you're from, and they called it like shit Karen, you know what I mean? So, and it was kind of funny, more or less. I never really took people's shit like that personally, because you ain't gonna pay my bills, you ain't gonna take care of my mom, so I could really care less what you say negatively. Now I'm always down to hear something positive, you know what I mean? But I don't really pay attention to the negative. But you said that, bro. People hit me up for a job now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Bro, what are you doing? And listen, bro, we're humble enough that it's like, listen, bro, I understand you might have grown or you might have changed your mindset, bro, but we gonna need some commitment from you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We're gonna need some commitment, bro. But you just keep outgrowing yourself, bro. Yeah. And you're not even thinking, like, we're not even thinking about these other people. It's just the fact that we're growing ourselves, and people see that. And the truth is, bro, sadly to say, that people want to see you do good, but never better than them. You know what I mean? And it's sad to say that, bro. And it's like, you'll notice the real.
That is so true.
Real people, they'll be happy for you. You ever hear the song Death Around the Corner by ESTG?
Nah.
And one thing he said, and it's funny to mention that song, but one thing he said was, would you still be happy for your dog if you wasn't involved? Right? So that's huge to me, because it's like, you know, the real ones are the ones that, like, you could make it to the top. I could be broke and working on myself, getting me there, like just starting or something. I'm gonna still be happy for you, bro, because you succeeded, bro. And I'm not gonna sit there and envy you because you have what I don't have. I didn't put in the work, bro. And the truth is, the work comes before the belief, bro. So if you guys are out there struggling with belief in yourself, you're struggling with belief in your vision, you're struggling with belief that you could do it, or anything like that, the work comes before belief. So what he said, just keep working, just start working, just start doing something, just start trying, and eventually you'll develop that same belief, bro.
For sure. Couldn't have said it better.
But I gotta say, bro, I mean, this has been definitely I like the vision, bro, and the principles and the values that you have that allows you to attract the success in the way that you do and that you will. And I just am excited for your future generally, bro. I look forward to working with you in the future. I know we're gonna do some business together for sure. But I think, bro, I mean, just with the values and principles that you have, it doesn't matter what you do, bro. You will succeed in that. I've learned personally a lot, bro, listening to you and just taking mental notes, bro, and just really like anything, like just gold, bro. Like this is worth so much on this podcast right now, bro. This is huge.
Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it, man.
Now, where can they find you, bro? Where can they find you if they want to get a hold of you?
You can find me on Instagram at henderson.semaj. My other Instagram got hacked, so that's not me anymore. I don't have access to that. I might later, and you also can find me on LinkedIn as Semaj Henderson as well. And my website for my company is hendoslogistics.com. So those are 3 platforms you can find me.
Fire, bro. Love it. Yeah. Well, bro, you know, if you guys find value in this podcast, which you will 100% if you listen to it, listen all the way through, and you know, listen to the other ones, listen to the one that he was on before. So check that out too, and you can see just the growth. How long ago was it that you were on the last one?
Probably about a month ago.
Yeah, a month. So we'll just watch the growth, and you know somebody's putting in work daily if you watch somebody's growth. Because I'm seeing the growth myself meeting you. I didn't meet you last time, but this time meeting you, bro, I see a lot of the growth. And that's how you know somebody's truly working on themselves every day, is the growth that they have. Even in a month, you can tell the difference. But I want to say thank you, bro, Semaj, for being on, bro. It was a pleasure, my honor, listening and learning from you. And hopefully, you know, if you guys learn and you find value, share this with your friends, your family, post it everywhere. Whatever you got to do, watch all of the Adversity Kings podcast. We're going to have many guests. Hopefully, we're going to have you 3 times on it, bro. First 3-time appearance. So, and you know what, I look forward to seeing your future, and we'll keep following with you down the road, bro.
For sure. Appreciate it, brother.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you. Stay blessed.